Hey everyone, and welcome to Ramblin' Reviews, where we analyze different types of media and/or their cultural relevance. My name's Christian, and this is Spider-Man in the Fantastic Four Annual Issue Number 1. So, this is a rather interesting one. This isn't something where Spider-Man is the main character of it or anything. He mainly has a cameo, but it's a very interesting take on the concept of a cameo character, if you will, and one that I really wish was done, well, still to this day. A big issue that I have with a lot of comics is where you have to follow a bunch of different types of comics, okay, if you want to follow Spider-Man, for example, you have to eventually jump over to not just the Amazing Spider-Man, but you have to jump over to, in the 90s, it got crazy with, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man and, all the others that they were called that I don't remember off the top, Web of Spider-Man, all these. But even then, you have to jump over to, the Avengers, and you have to jump over to this and that, all these different things. If you guys think that, it's bad trying to keep up with everything with the MCU, keeping up with everything in actual comics is insanity. If it weren't for something like Comic Vine that lays it all out and shows me when things released and I could follow that order, I would have no idea how to keep up with any of this because it's insane. But something that isn't often done is where you have the same story that was told in Spider-Man's, in this case, in Spider-Man's comic, told in the Fantastic Four comic. So, what I'm talking about here is the story here is called the Fabulous Fantastic Four meets Spider-Man. And basically, it goes through the same story of when Spider-Man met the Fantastic Four in issue 1. It starts with him sneaking into their base through a, tightrope thing he makes out of webbing. He sneaks into their base. The Fantastic Four get the wrong idea, and as soon as he gets there, and he's trapped by the Fantastic Four's security, and he has to take them all down and take them all on and take them down accordingly. Now, one of the cool things about this is we do get to see we kind of see the fight, if you will, played out a little bit more in depth, and we see Spidey using specific abilities like connecting his webbing to electricity in order to make an electric net around the thing, and different things like this here. But this is basically the same story as what we saw in Spider-Man's own comic. You don't have to read Spider-Man's comic now to get this, and I think that's really great. Really great. Now, this story was written by Stan Lee once again, yet it was drawn this time by not Steve Ditko, but instead Jack Kirby, or as many know, Jack the King Kirby. This is the guy who basically made the Fantastic Four, with his art style and everything, what they are. And man, for one, of course it's incredible seeing their take on Spider-Man, as opposed to everything else. But I mean, just the level of detail and I can't stress enough the whole, you don't have to read, you can be reading the Fantastic Four comics, get to the annual, and just have, all right, here we are with Spider-Man meeting the Fantastic Four. We don't have to jump to some comic that we might not have even known about in order to keep up with the story of the Fantastic Four. It's incredible. I really wish more comics did this kind of thing. Now, there are some moments here when he's fighting the Fantastic Four where there's things like he turns he makes a baseball bat out of his webbing in order to knock back some fireballs, or rather some fire missiles, it looks like, that Human Torch is sending his way. And there's some of that kind of hokiness and stuff that I don't like with the webbing that they do, as I've talked about this kind of thing before. But other than that, I mean, this really is beat for beat exactly what happens in Spider-Man's own first issue when he meets the Fantastic Four. I can't stress enough how rare this is in comics even now, and how much I appreciate them doing this kind of thing. I mean, it's like the dialogue is the same, everything's the same. It's just with a different art style, because it's by, again, Jack Kirby as opposed to Steve Ditko. And yeah, it went a little more in depth with the fight in general, but this is great. I really wish more comics did this kind of thing. And instead of having like, oh, read this issue to understand what happened here, there was just a retelling of that same thing in that same comic. It's just, it's incredible. I love it. It's this whole concept is just absolutely incredible. I really love it. So I can't sing my praises enough for Spider-Man in Fantastic Four Annual Issue #1. This is absolutely incredible. I really love just the way they did all of this. As far as the specifics of the story, that's all covered in regards to the Spider-Man issue #2. Or sorry, Spider-Man issue #1, the review here. But it's like you don't have to. I love it. I really love it. And I understand that it's all done in a way to get people to view more comics and or read different issues and stuff, but I just love the way this is handled. It's like, hey, Spidey's here, and it's their entire first meeting. Like, I love it. So yeah, no, I love it. Of course, the art is great. The dialogue and everything is the same as it was with Spider-Man issue #1. So yeah, but no, just this is absolutely incredible. So yeah, I really wanted to make this this shorter video going over that, because I love it. I really, and I couldn't really think of the right kind of place to put it in one video, so I wanted to, yeah. Anyway, as always, these are my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Subscribe and ring the bell to stay up to date. Leave a like if you like, and if not, I hope you find something to do. Later, guys. Peace and love.